sensuelle mais pas tabou. Dans mes yeux, tu te noies, cette couronne elle est pour moi. 4 reines dans cette compète avec Velvet, t'es pas prête. Vénère notre identité, c'est ta nouvelle réalité.
Kaku kaku! I'm Val and I wanted some of Be Like Boys nachos. As you could probably tell from the title of this video, today I, your resident Drag Race Belgique fan, will be discussing why Loulou Velvet would have been the perfect winner ever. My credentials. Now that we've got the formalities out of the way, I want to clarify something. I do not hate Alvilda. I think Alvilda is a very deserving winner, one of the best winners we have gotten in recent years, especially internationally, only being rivaled by the queen who just happened to win before her, Cohen. I love her. I've met her. She's super sweet, such an angel, and her drag is on a completely different level. That said, Loulou Velvet robbed. So I'm going to start off by telling you Loulou Velvet's track record, original track record, because I made quite a few changes to how it would have gone if it was me judging the season. Her original track record was safe, win, safe, bottom two, safe, bottom two, safe. However, this is not how it should have gone, in the slightest. So hold on to your horses, and I need you to clutch your pearls, because this is going to sound a little crazy. And I know it does. In my judging, she would have the following track record. Win, win, high, bottom two, win, low, win, win. I may have gotten a little carried away, but I'm not delusional. I can recognize when my faves have faults and trip up during the competition, which is exactly why she has a bottom two and a low placement. That said, her talent show was crazy. Loulou had the most memorable talent show of the night for me, and one of my favorite talent shows ever, only being rivaled by the likes of Peach from Belgique season. Only being rivaled by the likes of Peach from Belgique season 1, Athena from Belgique season 1, and Vanity Vane from Global All Stars. Sorry, I have bad taste. What are you gonna do about it? Now, the original winner of the talent show, which was the first episode, was La Veuve. Now, if you were on Twitter during the time that Drag Race Belgique was airing and you were interacting with like the 3 people that did actually watch the season, you would be able to tell that nobody liked La Veuve. For some reason, I couldn't really tell you why either. However, upon my latest rewatch, I think this dislike for her stemmed from the first episode, her winning the first episode with a comedy routine for her talent show. She did a tarot reading comedy routine, and it was fine, but for me, it wasn't winner worthy. For the other 2 people who watched Drag Race Belgique, Alvilda should have won the episode. For me, it should have been Loulou, and I think that makes perfect sense. Loulou brought something uniquely her, where she does draglesque, which combines drag and burlesque. Loulou Velvet. And she did a burlesque number for the talent show, and it was really good. She had sparkles flying everywhere. It was really amusing, really entertaining, and very unique. At the end of the day, that's what a talent show is, being unique and being good. And Loulou was both. She was not only robbed of a high placement here, but robbed of a win in the first episode. Episode 2 is where my feelings towards Belgique get way more complicated than they already were. Because while yes, Loulou Velvet did win the episode, I think it should have been a double win, and the second winner of it should have been, and I'm sounding crazy saying this, the second winner of the episode should have been Gabbana, who ended up placing safe. Around this time was when I realized, maybe there's 2 options here. Either I don't have eyes and I'm not watching the same show as everybody else, or not, and I just have really bad taste. What the fuck was that? Or the judges just don't want to see my face thriving. It's both. That said, Loulou made a really impressive outfit on episode 2. It was from white fabric, which notoriously, white is not a drag queen's color at all. You get makeup on it, and she talks about this. So she wasn't really ecstatic about getting white as a color because it was a color themed design challenge. But she made hands down the best, no rivaled outfit from Drag Race Belgique, hey, ever. She then rightfully goes on to win the episode with the white dress that she made. It was really pretty. She had her own hair out. I already told you how much I like this dress. I'm not gonna do it again. Now, episode 3 was the girl groups challenge, and the winner of this challenge was Alvida. Uncontested, nobody was nearly as good as her. However, Loulou placed safe in this episode. And while I don't really have that much of a gripe with that placement, because yeah, she wasn't going to win this episode not when Alvida was there, she should have at least placed high. Her verse was good. She was as coordinated as you could be in the group that she was in. And she did really good, actually. Now, episode 4, I have absolutely no complaints about the judging. She flopped, like really badly flopped. It was the stand-up. It's inevitable for one of my faves to flop in a stand-up episode. On Belgique 1, it happened to be Athena. On Belgique 2, it happened to be Loulou. There was no avoiding that. Absolutely no avoiding that. It was bound to happen. If it wasn't gonna be Loulou, it was gonna be Gabbana. If it wasn't gonna be Gabbana, it would have been like Alvida. She ends up not having to lip sync because her lip sync partner, who was also in the bottom with her, would have been Morphe. And she ended up quitting because she didn't feel like it was the correct environment for her. However, something very, very important happens in this episode. After Morphe announces that she is going to quit the competition, Rita Baga asks Loulou if she would like to perform alone. And Loulou says yes. Something that is like, it's happened before, but the only one that I can personally remember was Dovi Manurmi on like episode 3 of España or something like that, when Inti quit. And that was nowhere near as good as Loulou. I'm sorry. Sorry. Episode 5 was the Snatch Game, and I gave her a win here. Why? Because I laughed at all her jokes. Chloe Clark was the one who actually won this episode. And again, I have nothing against Chloe Clark. I've met her. She was super sweet. I just think she wasn't as funny as Loulou. She was funny, not as funny as Loulou. Granted, my French is like as good as it can get after I've been learning it for like a year or so. So I didn't get all the jokes, but Loulou's jokes to me personally were more funny. She actually placed safe in this episode, which baffled me. And this was the roller skating episode. I'm gonna put a photo video of her look in here. Yeah, it wasn't the best look of the night by far. It was a little simple, but it was really good still. Like, I have this problem with Drag Race all around the clock where I feel like too much importance is placed on the runways. Yes, obviously runways are important, but if you did really good in a challenge, doing mediocre or bad on a runway, unless it's a really bad flop, shouldn't impact how you place in the actual challenge. But it impacted Loulou's placement because the judges fucking hate her! Then we move on to episode 6, which was the... What the fuck did I actually name it? I used to know this. Like, Mystery Express Drag, something like that. It doesn't matter. It was a Poirot comedy, like, parody, because, you know, Poirot is Belgian, funny, haha. She ends up getting the role of the train conductor. And it's a small role that you can't really do much with, but she did as much as you possibly can with it. She was funny in all the scenes that she was in. Yes, it was a struggle bus for her recording, for most of it. Not as bad as Gabbana and Soupçonné. Je me trouve suspicious! But it was a struggle bus. regardless, the final product ended up being funny, and she was one of the funniest people in the sketch. So I put her at low. Now, the makeover challenge on every single season of Drag Race ever is my biggest nemesis. I fucking hate it. I can't stand it. I almost always love the looks, but I hate the judging because it never makes sense. And the same thing happened in this episode. The makeover on Drag Race Belgique was not special, but it's a very specific makeover challenge. They bring in their loved ones, this has been seen before, and like in the previous season, they're specifically looking for a mother-daughter energy. The bottom two of this episode ends up being Loulou and Alvirda, neither of whom should have been anywhere near the bottom. The winner of the episode is La Veuve. And this might be personal bias, I didn't like her makeover all that much. Loulou got her best friend Natu, and they had a sun and sun, a moon and star dynamic going, and it was very cute, very pretty as well. Like, it was very gorgeous outfits, and you could tell that there was a relation between the two of them. I'm not gonna talk about why they put Alvirda in the bottom for this episode, because it's gonna make me mad, so just gonna keep away from Alvirda this episode, because otherwise it's gonna be a whole video about this episode and why Alvirda was robbed of a win here. Anyway, Loulou, in my opinion, should have won this episode. La Veuve had a funny makeover with her brother in which they were playing a widow, La Veuve, and the daughter of a widow at her father's, like, funeral. That's the word. That's the word. And in my opinion, Loulou Velvet should have won this episode. If you compare all of the makeover looks, Loulou had the best, not contended even by Alvirda. I love her, not even contended by her. I don't know why Loulou was in the bottom of this episode. Like, I genuinely have no justification. The previous episodes, I was like, okay, I can understand this and this and this. Here, I don't. And now, finally, after like 20 minutes, the timer's at 20 minutes for me. I don't know what it's gonna be for you guys. After 20 minutes of me yapping, we are finally at the finale. The finale was another girl group challenge, except they were all together. Obviously, it was judged individually. This episode was crazy. Loulou mopped this episode from the second she stepped in the workroom. Actually, from the second she stepped back into the workroom after episode 7 to the second she got eliminated in that first lip sync. Well, technically second, but to her it was the first. When a queen wins a finale so hands down that there's no argument for anybody else to win a season, then you have to listen to what the finale tells you, or at least at the very bare minimum, give them a top 2. Neither of these things happened to Loulou. Loulou has the best verse of the episode. She might not have the best choreo like Alvirda does, but she has the best verse, hands down. The finale lip syncs go a little something like this. The wheel spins or something, I don't fucking remember. But Alvirda ends up going first, picking a box for who she's gonna lip sync against. The box opens, it's Gabbana. Gabbana picks a box, the box opens, it's Physical by Dua Lipa. Was it Physical? Yes, it's Physical by Dua Lipa. And so, that obviously leaves La Veuve and Loulou for the second lip sync of the episode. At this point, I was pretty confident about Loulou getting top 2. I knew Gabbana wasn't gonna make it. As much as I love her, there was no way they were going to put her in the top 2 over Alvirda. But I knew Loulou was going to make it to top 2 because she's a better lip syncer. That's it, actually. That's it. Period. Oh, and also because, hey, she won the episode to me. She ends up being just saved this episode, but I think she should have won. Don't piss me off. The lip sync song for Loulou and Velvet ends up being Warrior by who? Oscar and the Wolf. It's a bad song. Sorry. My girl not only got a bad song, but she was also robbed. I have never seen a queen mop a lip sync before so clearly. Seen a queen mop a lip sync before so clearly, only for them to be eliminated. Like, that was fucking insane to me. She has a reveal, which granted is just taking off a part of her outfit, but it's still a reveal. And she knows all the words. She mops the lip sync. She embodies the energy of the lip sync. And Love gets saved over her. Why? I have not yet started to talk about the storyline that Loulou had. Drag Race Belgique is really weird in the way that nobody actually has a clear storyline from beginning to end. Sometimes they start a storyline and they just never finish it. Like with Alvirda in the design challenge, where she has a moment of weakness being like, they're gonna know I don't belong here, but she doesn't know how to start sewing, and then they just don't fucking go anywhere with that. Loulou in one of the earlier episodes has a moment where she talks about her eating disorder and her journey with that and where it's led her. And from that moment, because before that there wasn't really like something to grasp onto Loulou with, from that moment it becomes so obvious that whoever was the storyboarder got the memo to, oh, make Loulou the winner, because that's what happens. Episode after episode, Loulou has a very strong argument as to why she should have won the episode or why she shouldn't have placed what she did. She has a very strong argument for why she is getting, like, she's getting the best development as a person in the entire series of Drag Race Belgique, including season 1. Loulou Velvet winning Drag Race Belgique would have made perfect sense, not only from a viewer's perspective, but from a story perspective as well. Not just because I'm a fan of her, but because everything she does has a purpose. Everything she does is unique. Everything she does is new and unseen before. She has a certain oomph to her that I've only ever seen previous winners have. Except for Athena, but might be my bias. Loulou Velvet, I think, ultimately didn't win because she was running in circles just a little too close to Cohen, and she was treading on a line of just a little too close to being alternative like Cohen, and they didn't want to crown two queens that were somewhat similar right after each other. Loulou Velvet was meant to be a winner, and I have full hope that at some point she returns to All Stars and has the redemption that she deserves with the judging that she deserves. That's it. Thank you for listening to all the 4 people that watched me yap about this for like 20 minutes. And maybe I'll see you guys soon. I don't know. Maybe I'll make another video like this. Who knows? I don't. But anyway, thank you for watching. I love you all. I hope you have a great day. And yeah, bye-bye. Mwah.